Hello, friends. Jonah here. Thank you for listening to this special bonus episode of Postcards from Pearl. Just a heads up, there's no midsection announcements this week. I didn't feel like splitting this episode up in the middle, but we do have some cool announcements about different things going on that are time sensitive outside of the normal midsection stuff. So if you want to keep up to date on what's going on and the fun things that we've got happening, make sure you listen all the way to the end so that you can stay in the loop. Other than that, y'all enjoyed this special, weird, chaotic bonus episode. Hello, friends. We are back.
Kind of, sort of. We're not fully back yet.
We're kind of sort of back.
This is us. We are two kids whose parents said, go play in that sandbox. And we, being smart, said, ew, why?
I said, I'm going to go build my own sandbox.
Yeah. And so then we took any of the nice-looking sand in our own buckets. And now we're trying to dip our toes in this nice sand that we've collected farther from the big sandbox.
I found a couple 2x4s and I just sort of banged them together and then filled the sand from the other box in it. And here we are, folks.
We're making a new sandbox. We're dipping our toes in the sand. This is Sandbox episode number 1.
Oh, gosh. Hopefully it'll only be one. It might be more. I don't know.
I don't know. We're planning. I just wanted to give it a number because we liked our old sandbox a lot.
We did. We like it a lot.
It was a good sandbox.
But it was also
a
certain wizard said you cannot play in this sandbox.
And then they made it. They made it into like a pit of worms instead. We were two kids playing in a sandbox, and then a wizard cursed us, and it became molten lava. And we had to run. We had no choice. So now someone said, play in the sand again. And after our first experience, we were a little wary, but we're slowly dipping that in.
I'm prepared for it to be quicksand.
I'm prepared for this to be quicksand, and that's okay. But also I'm not. I'm prepared for this to be great because you've spent a lot of hard work and energy into this. So I think it's going to go really well.
Thank you. So, full disclosure, everyone.
If you didn't know what analogy we were just saying.
So this is the first time in 3 months that we have been behind the mic to record, air quote, Postcards from Pearl. This is a bonus episode where basically this is, if you don't want to bother with game mechanics, I don't blame you.
You're going to be absolutely fine.
Totally fine. And when we go back to another episode that has a normal episode number, 72.
You're not going to notice a difference.
Yeah, it's going to be fine. But we're doing this bonus episode. Basically, what this is going to be, obviously, things have happened over the past few months. We haven't recorded since February because our old game system was no longer able to be used. So
turned into a pit of worms by a wizard.
The wizard came and ran us out of the sandbox.
Made it lava.
So we are now in the new sandbox that we have made ourselves, and it is the sandbox of Monster Fight, or the quote unofficial Pokemon hack of the official game, Pocket Monster Fight.
Brought to you by Jonah M. Jackson. Woo! The crowd goes wild. Sound effects. Boop, 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 boop.
Ba-da-bam.
Amazing.
So what we're doing today is I have, over the course of the past few months now, been working on this new game that we're going to be playing on the podcast moving forward. All of you listeners who are out there, I just want to take a second and say thank you so much for your patience and grace over the past few months as we've sort of been floundering to figure out what we're doing, and for all of the great feedback. Right now, we are on the, quote, beta version of Monster Fight / Poké Monster Fight. This is still technically before, like, the official full-on game is like ready and out, but we are at the point now where we're like, you know what, we miss playing so much, let's just go for it and just see what works and what doesn't. So from things that you might hear today and moving forward, some things might still be subject to change. I know there's still a couple of little kinks here and there that I got to work out, but we are very excited to be playing it and trying it out, getting it on its feet some more. So today we are going to be doing character and Pokemon conversions from the old game system to our new Pocket Monster Fight system. So we'll start off changing Pearl and Luca over. We'll kind of walk through what character creation looks like in this game and what it's like to, you know, fill out your player sheet and any like Pokemon sheets and things like that. And you'll also, for any of you who might have also been playing the other system, you want to keep your game going and you're not really sure how, I'll kind of walk through how I have sort of rigged together, you know, a middle of campaign scenario with all of the level ups and stuff from along the way to kind of make it fit with where we're at now. And I'm actually pretty happy with how the conversions worked out. So
I think it's really fun. I think it's really cool. And yeah, just harping off, like, thanks again for your patience. Keep that patience up.
Hey-o.
But also, yeah, just really thankful to have such faithful listeners. And when all of the changes happened, I just constantly kept reminding, like, Jonah and myself that, like, okay, things are going to change, but no Pokemon have been lost or harmed.
Yes.
So, like, we're good. Like, at the end of the day, as fun as that game system was, we were here for the Pokies. And
that's true. That's
based off what Jonah just printed, I've got a thick stack of papers, so I think I caught them all, guys. I think what he's trying to tell me, he said he only printed 1/10 of what I had.
That's not exactly true, but
that's what I heard, though. So let's jump in.
Let's hop in. So I imagine that, Sarah, you'll probably have some questions as we're marking through this. And as those questions arise, we will talk about those things and we will go through those and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Also, here on the front end, I want to also say a big thank you to those of you who are listeners or are specifically in the Discord and people who have been helping me with things like data entry and different like tables and stuff as I'm trying to put together the Pokedex, helping me with accessibility stuff, trying to figure that out as I've been fighting with this PDF and, you know, all of these different things. Everybody who has lent a hand, is doing play testing, is helping out in other areas. You all know who you are. Sincerely, thank you so much. I am very grateful for all of your help thus far and moving forward. And as we're playing this, remember the rules are going to be online. If you want to play it at home, I would love for you to play it at home and tell me how it works for you, how it goes. Let's hop in because I'm tired of prefacing.
Me too.
Let's do it. All right. So to start off, let us figure out Pearl and Luca's character info here.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
Yes, that's where we're starting, is with Pearl and Luca.
Is this the right page? I don't think I have a page for them.
For Pearl?
I don't have a character page.
You've got one that's a human one, and folks, we're off to a great start.
All right, I found one.
It's like, I promise you, there's a human one in there.
I got it. Do I only need one, or am I also filling out one for Luca?
I've got Luca's.
All right, well, cool. Then we've also, great start. He already did his.
And I've already pretty much filled Luca's out ahead of time.
I'm really behind.
No, it's okay. It's just so you can have a basis of what to go off of. I wanted to prep you.
Sealy, back me up here.
Sealy,
I've missed you. You sound like you've grown up. There's a lot of wisdom in you. Well, yeah, I know. My voice has changed too, but you don't have to point it out in front of everyone. Okay, moving on.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so
all right, character name, Pearl. I know that, and you're not getting a last name.
Still not getting a last name.
Burn.
Okay, so what I have here, I've got the PDF right in front of me. So the basic things that you're doing as you're creating a player character, or PC for short, and I'm just going to call them PCs from now on. We're going to make a character class. The way that we do that,
I've made the character class name,
which is
the Pearl.
Sure. Not an ace trainer or not like the future champ or anything like that. Just character class, Pearl.
I mean, this is a rare opportunity in life where if I can get this going, I mean, it's kind of like how, we're really diverting, but it's fine. We're just hanging out.
This is a bonus episode.
It is a bonus episode. It's kind of like how Matt and Anna were trying to, my sister and brother-in-law, were trying to get the phrase "the classic" going on pizza places.
Yes.
If you ordered the classic, that was half pepperoni, half cheese, and you could just look at someone at any pizza restaurant and say, "I'll have the classic." This is what I'm trying to do with the Pearl.
And how did that go for them?
I still use the classic. And so any trainer path I choose and make, it will just be the Pearl, but adding an adjective.
Nice.
Past this one. So, okay.
Love it.
Level 100? Yeah.
No, level 10. Level 10. So the way that making a character class works in this game is each PC makes their own character class. It's unique to them, and you do that by combining two of the available player paths, a path A and a path B. So whenever you reach a level that you can take a player path attribute, you select one of the appropriate tier from either path A or path B. Once you choose an attribute of a certain tier, you cannot get the other path's attribute of the same tier unless you take a feature that lets you do that. Features are similar to feats, where you can kind of pick and choose different buffs and bonuses and things like that. So you've got your character class, which is made up of your player paths. There are basic and advanced ones. We are only working with the basic ones right now because the advanced ones are more powerful. But so you pick your player paths to make your class. You assign your story stats, which, since this is technically a Powered by the Apocalypse style of game, we have our stats that are a +2, 2 +1s, 2 zeros, and 1 -1. And for the dice rolls for this game, it's 2d6. So we're working off that basic scale of, roll 2d6 plus whatever stat. 6 or less is a failure. 7 and 9 is a mixed success. 10 or above is a full success. If you've listened to other miscellaneous Quest Company content, we're all certainly familiar with this concept at this point. So we've got our story stats, which are for determining the outcomes of dice rolls. Pokemon also have story stats, and then they have battle stats as well, which determine their damage that they do for stuff. So we've got our story stats. We already know who your starting Pokemon is. It's Sealy, so we don't have to pick that. Cool. So let's just kind of go through my little advancement table here.
Follow along at home. Print yours out.
So from all of the basic player paths, to make your character class, what are the 2 player paths that you have used?
The Pearl is Warrior and Healer.
Warrior and Healer.
That was just what I felt lined up best with Ace Trainer, and I took a healing feat really early on.
Love that.
So I just felt like that stayed true to what I was already doing and planning.
This makes sense. So at level 1, looking at your character sheet here, we've got our character name, player name. It is Sarah. So at level 1, we've got our character name, player name, character class. Your level is 10, so we'll just know that that's where we're getting to.
Rank 100.
Rank is 2, because that's how many badges you have.
What a joke.
Your carrying capacity, since you're level 10, is
53.
5. That's how many Pokemon you can carry at once, is 5. Pearl and Luca should technically be at 9, but 10 is where you get that 5th slot. And since we already had the 5th slot, I didn't want to backtrack.
Okay.
Your trainer levels are determined by the total levels of the top Pokemon in your party, similarly to how it was before. And so, you guys had enough that you're technically in 9, but since the 10th level is just that carrying capacity upgrade, we're just going to go there, and you'll just be at that trainer level a little longer.
Sure.
Yeah, so no worries there. Your path A is Warrior, path B is Healer.
What's my health?
Your health, we will know when we figure out your vitality score, because it's 5 plus your vitality score.
Wow, lot in the air.
Whoa. So at level 1, you get to pick your first player path attribute. So you get to choose between the Warrior 1 or Healer 1. Warrior 1 is that all of your monsters get +2 to their damage rolls before determining move effectiveness. And Healer 1 is at the start of each day or anytime you go to a Pokemon Center, the Pokemon in your party gain temporary health equal to your player level. So of those two, which one do you want to go with?
Number 1.
Great. Which one? Because they're both
that
ones.
was funny. That was very Pearl to get both. Warrior.
Great. Warrior 1. Boom. So that's your level 1. Level 2, favored type. What do you want your first favored type to be?
Water.
This makes sense. Level 3, you get your Tier 2 player path attribute. Also, I should say this. I know that we kind of talked off mic about you didn't know if you wanted to go all the way through your first progression or whatever. So if we reach a point where you'd rather take a feature instead of one of these player path attributes, the features are the ones that are more like pick and choosy, you could do that if you like. Typically, it's you go through the progression, the Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, Tier 4, and then after that, it's kind of just choose feature from then on out. But if you're feeling wild in your game, you let your players choose if they want to go feature or player path attributes, and it's fine, probably. If it's not, we'll find out.
I know what I want to do next on mine.
Great. For your Tier 2 player path attribute, do you want to go with the Healers or the Warrior?
The Healer.
Great. The Healer, you have a pool of D6s equal to your player level. You can use your action to heal a creature for a number of D6, maximum of 5 at once, plus your vitality score. This ability can bring a knocked out monster above 0 health a number of times per day equal to your vitality score, minimum of 1. This pool resets at the beginning of each day. So we picked that one instead of the Warriors. You can add an extra +1 to your monster's attack rolls if it would cause a miss to hit instead, a certain number of times per day. But we're going with Healer for Tier 2. Nice. Next up, at level 4, all trainers get an upgrade to the Survey Environment move. So, much like many PBTA games, Powered by the Apocalypse games, Pocket Monster Fight and Monster Fight have various moves like survey the environment, use a move, clash, skirmish, discern traits. You know, there's a whole bunch of different moves, and so one of them is survey environment, which is basically get a lay of the land, check out your surroundings, and see if you find anything useful or interesting. So everybody at level 4 as a trainer gets an upgrade to that. Then at level 5,
wait. Do I write that down or?
No, when you're looking at the basic move on the sheet, it just has an advanced thing below the main move, and you just know that you can do that. If you would like to write somewhere in your various features or somewhere that you have the advanced survey environment, you could write that down just to remember. But it has it in the move description in the rule book.
How do I know when to use it?
Similarly to if you wanted to do something like, I don't know, perceive the world around you with some sort of check, or if you wanted to, look for something or keep an eye out for something, that would be like a survey the environment roll. Like a perception check is like survey environment.
I understand, but is it immediately added to my score, or do I need to add a +2?
Oh no, so it's not a plus anything to it. It's just that when you do that move, aha, here we go. We're getting into questions, folks.
How do play game?
So with survey environment, the description of that move is you're in a new place, getting your bearings, or maybe you're somewhere you've been before, but something's different. Either way, the smart thing to do is check your surroundings. When you survey environment, you roll plus instinct. On a 10+, you get to ask 2 questions from the list below. On a 7 and 9, you ask 1. On a miss, you find out something about this place that you didn't want to know.
Wait, so I just couldn't do this before?
No, you could do it before, but the
advanced... Is that no eyeballs?
But the advanced version of this, which is directly below it in the rule book. So there's the list of questions that's like, what happened here? Is this area safe? What's hidden here? Am I heading in the right direction? Is there a resource here I can use? The advanced version is once a player reaches level 4, you can use it to identify what types of monsters are in the area. So if you survey environment looking for what types of monsters are here, on a 7 to 9, you identify one type of local Pokemon. Also, sorry if I say monsters instead set of Pokemon a bunch throughout this, but it's
we all
become
knew that was coming.
very interchangeable to me at this point. So on a 7 and 9, you identify 1 type, 10 plus 2 types, 13 plus 3 types, and the rarest Pokemon in the area will also appear on a 2d6 roll of 2 for the remainder of this specific exploration session.
Wow, okay.
And then on a miss, a Pokemon finds you instead, and they won't be pleasant.
Nah.
So that,
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
that advanced is where you can look for specific types of Pokemon. So basically in the sort of level up system here, we've had an opportunity for you as a trainer to kind of get your bearings and everything. And once you hit level 4, you're at the point where it's like, okay, I know the kind of things to look for, and I can look specifically for like different types of Pokemon and get my bearings in that way.
Okay.
So that was level 4. Level 5 is your tier 3 player path attribute. Choosing between the warrior, pick 1 battle stat, increase each of your monster's basic score in that stat by 1. This cannot be changed. This is retroactive and applies to new catches. There's that, or the healer. When your monster regains health from an item or move, you can always roll twice and take the higher result. You can use this ability for allies Pokemon a number of times per day equal to your vitality score.
I would like a warrior.
Great. She's going with Warrior 3. For level 5. Level 6 is a carrying capacity upgrade, so you could carry 4 Pokemon at once instead of 3. Ta-da! Level 7 is the Tier 4 player path attribute. Would you like to go ahead and choose that one, or do you want to go with feature instead?
What is the options?
So, for the healer, Tier 4, once per day, you can fully heal a number of monsters equal to your carrying capacity from all damage and status effects.
Whoa.
This takes 10 minutes per Pokemon healed.
Okay, or...
And man, wow, I am just really going between monsters and Pokemon, but y'all are just going to have to deal. So there's that, or the Warrior Tier 4, the capstones of these, if you will. On your turn in battle, you can switch out Pokemon as an extra action on your turn before or after attacking. You can do this a number of times per day equal to half your rank rounded up. So right now you could do it once per day, and as you get more badges and stuff, you could do it more times per day.
Both. But I want both. Let's do the healer, but I want both.
Okay, great. Well, maybe if you take the multi-class feature, you can go through player progression again, and then you can take the warrior capstone the next time.
Read the healer one more time for me.
The healer.
Fully heal your team once a day.
Basically,
of
yes.
Of all conditions, too.
It's like a Pokemon Center
That is
visit.
the most valuable thing I can think of.
And it specifically takes 10 minutes per Pokemon.
Yeah, but that's like running from Team Nasty, saying, oh my gosh, we were going to die. Then like sitting at a campfire and then coming back in and saying, I'm back. Let's do this all over again. You know what I mean? Like, that's pretty powerful.
Well, it takes longer than the Pokemon Center is the drawback.
Yeah, but I can divert anyone for 10 minutes.
And it's you actively like bandaging or potioning or whatever it is. Like
Sealy can divert anyone for 10 minutes. I could, with all my endless pocket supply, I could have a full fireworks that lasts for 10 minutes. Tell them it's their victory march, and then just start up again.
So that was your level 7. Level 8, you get a second favored type. You had fire previously as your other specialty.
We keep it.
Cool.
As true as we can.
Nice.
To what she already was.
Nice. Level 9 is now where things start to get interesting. 9 is a choose feature level. So if you want to go back through player path progression again, you can add a path C and then go through it again and picking from either that new path or the things that you didn't choose last time. So either the warrior or healer things that you didn't choose already, or you could do other kind of pick and choose type of things.
Oh! Do you have any recommendations? Am I still going to be super perceptive?
Oh, as far as like...
That was definitely a trait she had.
Your observant that you had
so
previously?
Observant. I also had a very high nature score as well.
Yeah, so we don't have specific like skills broken down between all of the various stats anymore.
Well, I guess my question is, what would help me perceive things really well, find things, or what would help me catch things really well?
Nice. So one of the features that could help you specifically with looking for things would be the intuition feature. which is you choose one basic move, either perceive motive, read the room, or survey environment. You gain a +1 when rolling to use that move, and additionally, once per day, you can re-roll a failure when you're using your instinct score.
Very nice.
So that's one that you could use. You're looking for stuff that was specifically kind of perceptive or that would help you with catching. There is a lucky feature that's, would just always help with anything, really. There is multi-class, so if you wanted to multi-class into something like the Curator player path, which specializes in catching, so that's what I would say. Probably either like the Intuition, or if you wanted to multi-class into something and get it that way.
Is this my only chance to multi-class?
No, you can multi-class. You can only multi-class one time, but you can do it at any of the levels that are a, quote, choose feature level.
Right. When's the next choose feature level?
So this is the level 9 one. And so then level 10 is carrying capacity, and then 11 is another choose feature. Basically, from here on out, every other level is either like carrying capacity or like another favored type or choose feature. But every other level is like choose feature.
Then I'm going to do the intuitive for right now.
Great. All right, you're going with Intuition for your feature. So if you go down to character features down there on your character sheet, you write down Intuition.
So that you can also have the Pearl.
Make your own Pearl at home.
+1 on survey. I like it to be that close.
Okay, cool. So you're specifically going to have an extra +1 to survey environment whenever you do those, in addition to whatever you have already.
Don't you think that makes the most sense for her?
I think so.
Out of all the 3 questions?
Yeah. So, like, survey environment is, like I said, specifically getting the lay of the land, reading your surroundings and things. So, survey environment, the things are, what happened here? Is this area safe? What's hidden here? Am I heading in the right direction? Is there a resource here I can use?
Oh, I love all those questions.
And then the advanced version, which you unlocked at level 4, is identifying the types of Pokemon in the area.
Love.
Read the room. The questions there are, what's the best way in or out? Is there anything dangerous I haven't noticed? What's the biggest danger here? Who or what is most vulnerable to me and my Pokemon? Or how can I protect the others here? So I think probably survey environment.
I think so too.
But if you fail to read the room, you could use that feature to re-roll it once per day.
Cool.
So that was your level 9, and then level 10 is that carrying capacity upgrade to 5. So you can have 5 Pokemon in your party at once. Obviously, Sealy will still have her non-combatant scarf. So you're all good there, pretty much same as you were before.
Great. Feeling like Pearl.
Love it. Cool. Yeah, so that gets you all sorted out with Pearl as a character.
Really? How strong am I? What are my actual scores?
Well, that almost gets you sorted out with Pearl as a character. I forgot that we hadn't done your stats yet. So, Pearl, you have story stats. So you have a +2, 2 +1s, 2 zeros, and 1 -1.
You gotta say all that slower.
Yes, I shall. So, your stats and what they do here, right? So, your story stats, vitality represents your health and hardiness, along with your ability to take care of others. And I believe you have some healer stuff that keys off of your vitality. You're healing with the pool of D6s.
Well, it says up to my player level, not my vitality.
It heals them for however many D6 plus your vitality score.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So if you just put, 1 D6 into them, it's 1 D6 plus whatever it is you put in there, 1 or 2, whatever. So there's vitality, there's might, which represents your physical strength and martial prowess, agility, your speed, both physical and mental, instinct.
So good at all of these things so far.
Instinct, your ability to perceive and interact with the world around you. Logic, your ability to analyze and improve the world around you. And then personality, your ability to influence and interact with the people and creatures around you.
Pearl is excellent at all of these things.
So where would you like to put...
Why is that a joke? That's not funny.
I know it's not a joke.
Okay.
I'm laughing because I'm happy to be recording again.
Aww, there it is.
So where would you like to put those scores?
What are the numbers I have, sir?
You've got a 2. 2 +1s. +1 +1. 2 zeros.
How I wish you guys could have seen the face I just made with him. That he knew I needed clarity. Okay.
You got the 2 zeros?
I do.
And 1 -1.
Impossible. Okay. And what other add-ons?
That's it for those.
No. She can't have a -1.
If you want
She's
at some point,
the best girl. She's the strongest. She's the most amazing.
you can also take a feature that allows you to increase one of your stats by 1.
Oh, dude. Dunk, man. Okay. Should have done that.
Do you want to do that instead?
I'm thinking about it.
All right, we'll just.
All right, speed. We already know she's short for her age. We should take that to the lowest.
All right, you think agility is her?
I mean, yeah, she's not good at sneakiness. She's not fast. Her favorite Poké is dugong. So
fair.
I think that should be her -1.
Okay, great. Agility is going to be the -1. Well, let's just work from the bottom up then. What about these 2 zeros?
She could not break a crate.
Could not break that crate.
Okay.
So a 0 in might.
But the rest of it, she's honestly so good at. Guys, I can't see any flaws in the next 4 traits for her. Give me like a story. Like, what is a story point where a 0 would apply to any of these things?
I mean, I think that
Where has she failed? Never.
I mean, how much did she pay attention in boating school, logic-wise?
Oh, actually, that's a really good point. She's street smart.
Yeah, which is
That's
like
the thing.
instinct.
She's, like it. All right, 0 in logic.
Great. And so then you've got the 2 +1s and 1 +2. So obviously, you've taken the feature that, gives you a little extra in your survey environment and everything. But then also you've got the healer stuff, which keys off of your vitality. And then personality is, well, we all know that Pearl's got a lot of personality. So it is a tough choice, I know.
All right, +1 for personality.
Okay.
Where is instinct where the intuition pluses would be at?
Yes.
Oh, this is so hard. +1 in instinct because it's essentially a +2 because it took that feat.
For survey environment specifically, yes.
+2 in vitality. Do you think that lines up, Jonah?
I think so.
Listeners, if you don't, you gotta tell me now. And I'm open. I'm very open.
Well, I think it makes sense also because, since with your previous kind of traits and things, you increased their constitution and their health and stuff.
Yeah.
I get that. I get that.
Okay.
Also, for your Warrior 3 that you took, which one battle stat would you like to increase across the board for your Pokemon?
It can't be unique to the Poké.
No, it's the same as you had previously, where it's 1 for your whole team. It's like, my whole team, we're better at this.
Ah, dang it. I thought that was one of the things I thought was really cool about it. I was like, oh, I can pick and choose. Oh.
No, you pick the one stat that your team is like, we got this. If you wanted it to match what you had previously, it would be HP. So you're picking between the classic Pokemon stats here: attack, defense, special attack, special defense, and speed, and HP. So the closest match to what you had previously would be HP, but you do what you want.
HP, yeah. I just where my conflict is with this one is Seely's so good at performance.
This is also true.
That's where it's that is such a crux of her.
Right, but Seely can still have higher personality because remember, her story stats are different than her battle stats. So this is her battle stats specifically that we're raising.
Then let's do HP.
Yeah. Cool. All right, so everybody is going to have some extra HP here in the Cuddle Bunch. Yeah, so for Seely, you'll be able to, each Pokemon has their story stats the same 2 1s, 2 0s, and 1 -1. Every Pokemon starts off with those, and then they can gradually increase them as your friendship with them grows. So we already know that Seely's at a friendship 3, so she's going to be able to put some more numbers and some stats. So if you want to boost her personality, we'll be able to do that.
And let's get this clear. When we say boost her personality, it never needed boosting. It was already there. Yeah.
Just from a mechanical standpoint, recognizing that the personality was there.
Okay, so how strong am I?
Do you mean what is your health?
I guess.
All right, your health is 7.
What? I was 54.
Right, so the way that the health works in this version is typically a trainer is not going to be in that many situations where they're actively
punching Pokemon
taking
in the
damage,
face.
punching them in the face. If they are, they can either be in a campaign where everybody starts with the monster fighter feature, Or they could take that feature later on. Okay. Monster Fighter and Monster Powered, or Poké Fighter and Poké Powered.
I feel like that's Sully.
Yes, she does have that feature.
Cool.
Jaquees has that feature. Everybody in Kanoko Origins has that feature.
Okay.
That's like the default there. But the default for sort of current day Pokemon world is that you've got a much smaller one. And rather than like rolling dice for if you get hit by, I don't know, like a flamethrower or something, right? Rather than having to roll specific dice or whatever, it's just a smaller scale of like, okay, it was a tier 2 move, you take 2 damage kind of thing. Just so that we don't have to go into as much nitty-gritty detail there. Unless you really want to, I'll get rid of the other fighting stuff, and I'll get you if you want to get in there.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. So 7.
Yes, so 7 health. So that actually sorts us out.
Yeah, that's everything filled out at home, guys. Except for my inventory, because that is legit an Excel document. And that's got to be the way it stays.
All right. And then I'll just bust through here and just say all of the things that are on Luca's sheet real quick.
I'm sorry I took so long with mine.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
Like I said, you had to actually choose your stuff here in the moment.
I'm impressed you wanted the listeners to hear that hot Garbo conversation of me figuring this out.
No, I'm going to trim it, so you're fine.
Okay.
But for Luca, character name, Luca Salvatore. Player name, me, Jonah. Character class, I called him the Companion.
Yeah, he's my Brock.
Yeah.
You could also call it the Brock.
I didn't want to, hit the nail on the head that hard.
Very good point.
Level 10, rank 1, technically. Carrying capacity is 5. Max health is 5. His 2 player paths are the Loyalist and the Elemental. So, at level 1, he took the Elemental Tier 1 player path attribute, which is monsters of your favored types get an extra +2 to damage before determining move effectiveness. If a monster is dual type and both of them are their favorite types, they get a +4 bonus. So he took that one for his level 1. Level 2 got his first favorite type, water, obvi. Right, you gotta love Two-Fish, bruv. His level 3 was his tier 2 player path attribute. He went with the Loyalist there, which was any new Pokemon you capture automatically increases their friendship by 1. Then level 4, the Survey Environment upgrade. Level 5, the tier 3 player path attribute went with the Loyalist again. I went mostly Loyalist for him because that's really, what he was, mostly previously, the closest to what he had. All right, so the tier 3, which is you can command a Pokemon to use a move that's 1 tier above the moves currently available to it. You can do that a number of times per day equal to half your player rank rounded up. If a Pokemon is at its top tier, you can instead double the damage of a known move once per day.
Nice.
Level 6 was a carrying capacity upgrade. Level 7 was tier 4 player path attribute. When with the Loyalist once again, as an extra action on your turn, you can give all allied Pokemon advantage on their offensive moves until the start of your next turn. You can do that a number of times per day equal to your instinct score, minimum of 1. So that was his tier 4 player path attribute. Level 8, a second favored type. My boy went with dark. He loves his dark types. And then for 9, he actually gets to choose a feature. And now this is actually, I had not thought this far ahead. Actually, I hadn't thought this far ahead for this one.
What's he gonna choose? What you gonna do? Luca, what you gonna do? Is there a concoctor? Like a little mixer of magical potions?
There are some features that are crafting based, and there are some advanced player pads that are crafting based.
Maybe he wants to get crafty.
So I do remember what I wanted him to do. I was between a few different things, but I think that this is what I want most from my boy. Luca is going to multi-class and get a Path C as part of his character class here, and he is going to multi-class into the General.
The Jedi?
The General.
Oh.
The General, which is very much based on shaping the field. And yes, I did partially want this for him because I want to show off this mechanic a lot in this game because shaping the field is something that's new to Monster Fight and Pocket Monster Fight, and I'm very excited about it. And I think that doing those kind of things strategically feels like Luca.
Cool.
So he's going to For his tier 1, pick the general. If you get a mixed success or fail a shape the field roll, you can choose the opponent's tags rather than the GM or the opposing player.
Tags?
So, for shaping the field, this new thing that I've just sort of thrown out there as if you all know what it is. So, the battlefield can tip the scales in any conflict, and you want it to tip in your favor. Luckily, your Pokemon have the power to do just that. When you shape the field, you have your active monster roll plus whatever stat. You get to choose which stat they're using. They'll use a different one depending on what they want to do to the battlefield. There can only be a total of 6 tags on the field at any time, 3 for each side, right? If there are already 3 active tags on your side, when you attempt to add a new one, you replace one of the old ones with a new one. If you want, instead of choosing a tag for yourself, you could shape the field and remove one of your opponent's tags. So by default, tags remain active on the field for 3 rounds after they're activated, unless otherwise specified. Some of them last until they've been used a certain number of times. If the Pokemon that activates that tag is knocked out or is swapped out, that tag comes off of the field. So Toofus could try to flood the field with water or something, and so either for 3 rounds or if he gets knocked out until one of those things happens, he's flooding the field, and whatever effect that comes from that is happening. Or if he has an effect where if somebody gets close to him, he does something. It would work like that. So when you roll to shape the field on a 10+, you choose 2 tags to add to your side of the field. On a 7 to 9, you choose 1 tag to add to your side. The opponent adds 1 to their side. And on a miss, the opponent chooses 2 tags to add to their side of the field, either from the same list for the stat that you're choosing from or from the stat that is the highest of their active Pokemon. So let's say if he was fighting somebody who had, an Alakazam, right? If he failed...
That's a yellow guy, right?
Yeah, the guy with the spoons.
Got it.
The Vanillite's worst nightmare.
No, I'm thinking about Abby and Friends.
Yes. But more mustachioed than Abby. But so for Alakazam, if Toofus failed to shape the field roll, theoretically, the Alakazam would get to choose 2 tags to add to their side, and they could either choose from the Might list or, being an Alakazam, probably the Logic list instead, right? But since Luca has that general feature, he gets to choose the tags that the opponent puts on their side.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
So, ta-da. It's a way to, even if you mess up what you're trying to do, at least
recover.
Mitigate some of the badness.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah. So, that's what he has got. And then obviously for level 10 is the carrying capacity 5. So, Luca's got a 0 in vitality, -1 might, +1 agility, +2 instinct, 0 logic, and a +1 in personality.
Oh, that's amazing.
That was a reference for only anyone who is familiar.
Amazing. Oh, he's going to be so angry.
That is supposed to be Scottish. I just want to clarify.
Don't clarify. That's not helpful for any Scottish listener out there.
Specifically, if you
that's amazing.
are familiar with my work with the National Public Library.
I'm glad that snuck up on you. You didn't see it coming.
Wow, time is really flying by, huh?
It's intricate.
It is very intricate. I was like, whoa, look at that.
We're also settling back into it,
That is also true. Mm-hmm. And speaking of settling in, let's do some Pokemon transferring.
Yeah.
So, what would be the most helpful for you first? Would you like to actually go through the list of all of the features and things that Pokemon can get? No? Because
I love you, but I think that would be way more confusing than helpful.
Right. Yeah, because okay, so how this is going to work.
Wait, hold
folks.
on.
Yes.
Hold on. We all know, if you've listened this far, we all know I'm bad at playing these games, right? So, I just want you to know I love Jonah. I love his work, but I'm awful. I'm awful at D&D. I'm awful at anything like this. And if it were not for Jonah and my friends, I never would have gotten into playing these things. So just know when I say things like that, it's not in any, I don't know. My brain does not connect without a translator, and Jonah's a good translator, and I've had a lot of good friends who've translated. But that being said, it's kind of it's fun in some ways because there was some of the charm of me not knowing so much about Pokemon when we first started. And now I don't. I mean, it's, again, I'm thrown into a whirlwind of I don't know. So, there's that joy of it again.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, so yeah, let's not do the list thing that you said.
I love that. So, with the stuff that's like on the monster sheet here, the Pokemon sheet.
And guys, too, for the record, I've practiced with a fake team filling this out, and it actually clicked better than most games. So I will say that.
Love to hear it.
Can we start with like a super neutral, easy one? Like a super chill one?
So you're saying you don't want to start with Sealy, the most leveled up and powerful one?
No, I don't. As much as she is my homegirl, I can't handle that. She's who I'm dreading the most right now.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Okay, so on the monster sheets here, which are available for you all to download, we've got their nickname, what species they are, ability level, all of the typical stuff, right? Everything that was on the player sheet, the trainer sheet, and also some other stuff, and we're just kind of gonna go through it. We're just gonna go through it all.
Here we go.
So,
what Poké should we start with, though?
That's a great question, huh? That's a very good question. If you want to start with somebody neutral...
Would it be like the Gliscor I just caught? Or the Kangaskhan?
I mean, do you want to do somebody that you've, not leveled up at all? So we're starting, totally from scratch? Just, filling out a sheet?
Yeah.
Sure. Well, how from scratch do you want to go? Do you want to go a full-on way-back baby like Orville the Wurmple or CeeLo the Tailo? Or do you want to go with somebody more recent like Bruce the Machop? Or I think that even Mudslide and Pebble, they're higher level.
Start me with Bruce.
Cool. Let's do Bruce the Machop.
All right, nickname. Got that covered.
Boom. Bruce.
Species. What
Machop.
Is this guy? Dang it. Okay, wow. That was so genuine. That was not me putting on anything. That's how bad I am at these games. Oh my gosh. Ability. Chopping things.
Ability.
Level 2.
Well, hold on. Yeah, no.
Can I just put numbers down? Max health 19.
No, that's not. Nope. Hold on.
Hey, is the main stats like vitality and stuff the same as the +2, +1s?
Correct, and I'll tell you where those go.
Okay, I'm just going to write them down at the bottom of the page really quick.
But yes, all of those start off
are the same
as +2, +1, +1, 0, 0,
so
-1.
really, it begs the question: what's the difference between a Poké and man? Am I right?
The Pokemon have battle stats.
All right, keep it rolling.
Where they
folks.
hit you harder in much more unpleasant ways.
They have magical beings. Okay, friendship. 55.
Friendship.
Size, small.
Friendship is currently 0.
What? You were great, pal.
You caught him in a ball and we haven't seen him.
Size is small, I'm guessing.
Oh my gosh! Hold on. Let me double
Movement,
check.
30 feet.
Well, hold on.
I'm rolling, man.
All of these things might not be
I've gotten
true.
off the slide and I have started to fall. Vulnerabilities, nothing.
That's also
resistant. Everything.
You're not actually writing this all down, are you?
What? Immunities, poison.
No. This is
HP 52. Bonus.
Hold on. Are you
5.
actually writing this down?
What do you think?
You might be. None of that is true.
Total is 69. Okay.
Nope, also not.
Gotta find these answers fast, man. Am I worse than some of the kids you teach online?
Yes.
You know why you're such a good teacher? It's because you're married to me.
Oh my God. I forgot what I was even looking for.
You forgot what it's like when you try to play these games with me. Oh, I touched the mic.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
Okay, in all honesty, I probably
go-
got another good 15 minutes in me before this thing goes really off.
Great. With this example of Bruce is where we're going to leave off with this one with character and a quick example of filling out a brand new Poké.
Oh my gosh.
And then we'll come back, and you know what? When we come back, we're just going to tell you what we've picked.
Ah!
And we won't worry about picking it in the moment.
That's probably honestly for the best. Genuinely, that's for the best.
Okay, so
Maybe we'll record like a big Steely or something.
where were we?
Vitality's 12.
Well, no, let's stay at the top and work our way down.
All right, I already filled out the top.
You absolutely didn't. So, nicknamed Bruce, species Machop.
All right,
Ability.
that's the speed I like.
Ability is no guard. Level, he's level 5. The way that I have done the levels, just so that you guys know, because obviously the levels are going to be different now because the scale is different. Previously, we were on a level scale of 1 to 20. Now, it's the Pokemon are on a scale of 1 to 50. Trainers are still 1 to 20, but Pokemon are 1 to 50. So how I've converted these is... Oh, gosh, she's fading, folks.
No, you're still talking to the mic like you're trying to rein me in, but I've been reined in. But your tone is like, Sarah, keep it together. Like, don't start going off like a popcorn machine. Okay, keep it going. I'm sorry, audience, that you have to get the tone that I deserve.
So the basic conversions that I'm doing here, I'm going to get really calm
He's
now.
back. You'll know exactly what I mean when you re-listen.
Oh
okay.
my gosh. So the way that I've converted the levels here to not make everything super OP, because obviously if I did it like 1 for 1, it would be just level for level would be like the level times 2.5, and that doesn't make sense because that's like feels very late in the game by this new metric. So what I've done is level times 1.5, and I've rounded up for like kind of whatever they started at. And for Pokemon who have been trained a lot, have been with us a lot, like for Sealy, for instance, added 1 or 2 more levels, kind of just depending on what felt right with where they were sitting, what evolution stage they're at, and some things like that. So, for example, Sealy was at level 11, so now is at level 18 because half of 11, 6. So 11 plus 6 was 17, and I gave her the extra one, so she's at 18. So she's in that, kind of upper tier there.
Here's the thing, guys. We could have decided to have Pearl have a huge moment of hubris, get taken down a notch, and start everybody at 0.
Oh, gosh.
But instead, Jonah's so gracious and wanted to continue the story where it's at. So that's why we're doing math times 1.5. Amazing. Truly amazing.
I'm trying to make it feel the most accurate without making you feel like you got totally nerfed.
Yeah, exactly.
And also not making you feel super OP. It's in line with kind of where you're at.
That's what I'm saying. It's like we had the option of like, okay, we're going to try to make this system kind of as close to it as we can, or we're going to have to write a plot line where I just get dunked on in garbage. like Pearl gets a swirly, gets put into a trash can, locked into a porta potty. All those things would have to happen. And more. Which I mean, she might deserve a little bit.
Oh my gosh. So
evolution
Bruce.
tier 1.
Evolution tier, yes, 1A for Bruce.
Woo! Got one of these right.
So the way that these work is like the A's, 1A, 2A, 3A, those are like 3-stage evolutions. So Machop here, Machop 1A, Machoke 2A, Machamp 3A, Tada. All the starters are A's.
That makes sense.
The B's, 1B, 2B, 3B are like 2-stage evolutions, like Sealy or like L. You know how Sealy started off as a 1B and now she's, I don't remember, she's a 2B or 3B. It depends on like what their total stats are. L started off as a 2B and
graduated to a 2C.
Well, one. And one day when eventually she evolves into a Weavile, she'll be a 3B. So you could go like 1B to 2B or 1B to 3B. Like Omen went from a 1B to a 3B. And then the single tier evolution Pokemon, the ones who don't evolve, are either 1C, 1D, 1E, or 1F. 1C being like Dunsparce probably, and then 1F being like a legendary.
Oh.
Yeah. Is the scale that we're working with, and depending on what evolution tier you are, it affects how many experience points you need to get to level up and stuff like that. So when I'm shouting out things like 1A, 2B, whatever, that's what we're talking about. So for a Machop at level 5, what was Bruce's nature when we caught him? He was reckless, and those were not specifically 100% matches for what the actual natures are that we're using here. So Machop, he was reckless, so let's go with, I think that he was
fancy.
Fancy. No, he was not fancy, but he was Let's go adamant. That feels right.
Yeah.
Feels right for a Machop.
Adamant.
Adamant, yes.
Nailed it.
So an adamant Machop. Let's see
Hey,
here.
you know how when I had to spell aficionado?
Uh-huh.
I want you to imagine that like adamant, though.
Great. So it's very misspelled.
It's adamant.
As a Machop at level 5, his current health, his max health is 30.
Nice.
His Pokédex number is 66, in case you were wondering.
I was.
His type is fighting. He only has that primary type, doesn't have a secondary. Current EXP is 0 to next level is 10, so he needs 10 experience points to go to his next level.
Wow.
Yeah, I really scaled down experience. We're not doing tens of thousands of experience points anymore.
Friendship is 0.
Friendship is 0.
Same to you, Bruce.
Advancement points. He has 1 advancement point because every Pokemon starts with 1, so that the first time that you level him up, you have the option to do something, because that feels special. Huh? Does he what?
Does he have more HP because of my feet? Or because of my warrior?
Yes, he will, and we will adjust that in a moment.
All right. Somebody's paying attention.
Because everybody's HP goes up on Team Cuddle
When
Bunch.
you're on the Pearl Squad.
Now, for his size...
Small, tiny,
Well, so...
pocket Machop.
The sizes are on a scale of 2XS, like double extra small, to double extra large.
Ah.
So... he's either small or extra small, I do believe. I don't think that
Ooh, both I like.
he's definitely not medium yet.
No. His middle name is Popeye. Bruce Popeye Machop.
That makes perfect sense to me. His size, he's 2 foot. A Machop is 2'7". So he is small.
Pearl loves him. No wonder why she caught him.
His movement is 25 feet.
We're gonna get you. Chop. In 25 feet increments. Vulnerabilities, nothing.
Vulnerabilities, flying, psychic, and fairy.
Gosh!
Which I do forget about, fairy specifically, just because I'm still not, like, as used to that one. So yeah, vulnerabilities, flying, psychic, fairy. Resistances, rock, bug, and dark. Immunities on nothing.
Boo.
For a Machop, how these work is... since obviously Pokemon in the regular games do not have a Vitality, Might, Agility, etc. score, I've adapted them to what their stats are in the way that makes the most sense to me. So, if you run your own game and you think that there should be a +1 and a 0 that change places, you go buck wild, my friend, but this is how I'm doing it.
Yeah!
So, Machop, Vitality, +1. Might, +2. Agility, +1. Instinct, 0. Logic, -1. Personality, 0. And ta-da! That gets him with those story stats there. You'll probably notice most Pokemon have a -1 in logic because most Pokemon haven't read a lot of books. All right, and then his battle stats now.
Yeah, this is what we came. The show! HP 25.
HP is 3.
What? Basic?
Yes, his basic HP. So on the character sheet here, there's for each of these battle stats, there's basic, bonus, and total. So basic is like what I'm reading off of my spreadsheet here, which is also available for you all if you need to do any conversions or check things on your own. But how it works is like what is here on the spreadsheet, just the straight conversion from their like standard stats is what is their basic score here. It's sort of, you know, what is genetically there. The bonus is when you increase stats either through like getting features or by spending advancement points. That is sort of the equivalent of like EV training, representing more of the work that you've put in without saying, well, I've fought 72 Rattatas, so my speed increases. I don't even know if Rattatas give off speed EVs. It might be attack. Oh gosh. Don't Poké cancel me. But anyway,
that would be so sad for this man who's dedicated so much.
It is speed for Rattata.
Wow. And just like that, he is still a trusted source. Never in question.
So yeah, in these we're filling in the basic, but then if you add to their bonus scale, it's sort of like EV training, the equivalent without getting really stupidly in depth. And then obviously the total is if you add those two numbers together, if you have something in both of them. So all of your Pokemon have an extra +1 to their HP here on the basic scale. So the standard for a Machop would be 2, but he's got 3.
What?
So his basic
So you're saying
HP
the
is
standard
3.
is 2.
Right, but because all of your Pokemon add +1 to their basic HP, his HP is 3.
Oh, okay.
His basic attack is 5. So basically, whenever he uses a move that uses his attack, like he's gonna do if he does like a karate chop or whatever, it's a d6 +5 for the damage. Normally for a Machop, it's +4, but because he's adamant, his attack increases and his special attack decreases. So his attack's 5, his defense is 3, his special attack is 1. He's not really throwing fireballs here. His special defense is 2, and speed is 2.
Pretty chill dude.
Pretty chill dude. He doesn't have any features yet because he hasn't bought any with advancement points, so we're fine there.
Still chill. Still chill.
And then for moves, some of these, the way that the moves go by default in Monster Fight and Pokemon Monster Fight is that when you reach certain levels, like you have your new move tier available to you. So like from levels 1 to 9, you have tier 1 moves, 10 to 19, tier 2, 20 to 29, and so on, up to tier 5 moves, which are like Frenzy Plant or Blast Burn or whatever, as opposed to down here with like Tackle and stuff at tier 1. So with conversion in here, I'm just going to leave your Pokemon's moves as what they were. So if some of them have moves that are like beyond whatever it is now,
y'all gotta walk away from that. Yeah, no,
I don't
walk
care.
away from that conversation.
Tell you what, yeah, we're not super
That's
buffing
the one
your...
card we're pulling. We're very open people. Jonah would love to talk to you about the game, but if you come and you say, why do they have this move? We can't talk.
How do they have a tier 4
No!
move? They're not level 30
I'm
yet.
done. I'm done. Do you realize what he has done in order to keep the game alive?
You can also use TMs before a Pokemon has that like move tier
Burn.
available and stuff. So like
That's what I'll say to you. I won't downright shut you out. I'll just look at you and say, TMs, man, and walk away.
TMs,
I'm not going to walk away. We'll probably talk longer.
have a great chat.
It'll be fine. We're very approachable.
So that said, with what the specific moves do, what their tier is and everything, like if some of them is like, whoa, that's a powerful move. It's like, yeah, but we're also just not super high powerful, but we got some good moves and we're just going to deal. So that brings me to Bruce's moves, which I don't think he has any that are super OP and I'm not really stressing about. So first off, he has Foresight. He also has Low Kick, Focus Energy, and Karate Chop.
Cool.
And then he doesn't have any other notable special items or abilities or anything, so I don't need to write anything down there. That is honestly the space that I put for things like the special gym items and things like that. Just like, can your Pokemon do something weird? Put it in this little box.
I like that.
And then held item, he doesn't have any held items right now.
Oh, great. A normal Pokey.
So
very fresh start there.
That's a nice fresh start. Thank you, Bruce, for being our example.
Yeah. Wait, what about his max
even
health?
as wild as that was. What
about his max health?
His max health. Oh, yes, of course, because it's a little bit different than it would be otherwise because he's got that extra HP. So
Das feet.
So the way that we calculate health is parentheses monster level times total HP end parentheses plus parentheses monster tier times 10 end parentheses.
Oh my God! What?
I promise it's not as complicated as it sounds.
So complicated.
So Bruce is level 5.
Okay.
His HP is 3.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm with you. 8. 8.
No, times is total HP.
Oh, okay.
So 5 times 3, 15.
15.
Plus monster tier times 10. His tier, 1A. So 10.
Okay.
10 times 1, 10. So 25. 15 plus 10. So he's level 5, and I misspoke earlier because I accidentally added the times 10 even though the spreadsheet did it correctly. So yes, monster level's 5 times his HP of 3. So 15 and then plus 10 because he's baby. If he was buff middle form, he'd have plus 20 instead of plus 10. And then if he's forearm flex man, he adds 30 instead of 10,
that's cool.
right?
That's really cool.
So
I like that a lot.
5 times 3, 15 plus 10. So his health is 25.
But you said earlier his health was 30.
That was because I added an extra 10 by accident, and I didn't mean it. I retract that former statement.
Take it back, man!
I take it back.
All right. So 25, huh?
25 is the health that he has. But yeah, so that is how that calculation works. So then, like, we will do that for all the rest of the Pokies. But
guys, we're going to do this process for every single. So just know this is a labor of love for Jonah to deal with me going through this. But I hope by the end of this, I'll be able to play this game so that we can keep it going.
I feel like going through this, the amount of times that we're going to, I think you're going to come out with a good grasp of it to actually play. I want you guys to imagine the Rocky training sequence right now. I am punching the meat. I am punching the meat for this podcast, and Jonah is my coach. Jonah, you're the little old guy. I think that this is as good a place as any to call it for this one. I'm going up the stairs. Here I go. Philadelphia. It's not victorious yet. It's huffing and puffing up those stairs right now. Hey, yo, Sealy! So that's where we're going to end this one. And next time, we're going to have already made the choices for all of the Pokemon. We're going to do that off mic, but then we will tell you all just sort of what they've got. And again, I am not offended if you don't want to listen through and see what every single Pokemon has got going on. I'm impressed if you've made it this far. I'm sure that if you have come this far, it's solely out of just seeing what's going to happen next out of the state of delirium that Sarah has entered. But we are very excited to be back. We are very, very excited to be back and recording again for you all as we dip our toes back in. And we cannot wait to hop back into the story proper. So with that, thank you all so much. We're only going to do one more of these because I can't do more than 2 episodes of this sort of game transfer. So we're just going to tell you what's going on the next one. And then we're going to get back to the story. How's that sound? Thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody. We will talk to you soon. Hello, friends. Jonah here to say thank you for listening to this special bonus episode of Postcards from Pearl. It took a little longer than we'd hoped to start getting these to you because my external hard drive, which had these 2 bonus episodes and also episode 72 on it, kind of blew up / got corrupted or something. Still don't really know what happened there, but I managed to recover the data and we didn't have to re-record these, which I am very thankful for. We are so excited to get back in our groove with recording and releasing episodes, and we do ask for your continued patience while we find that groove. In the meantime, I've continued to work on Monster Fight, and there have even been updates since we recorded these bonus episodes, so things continue chugging right along. I'm hoping that within the first few episodes of this new arc, I'll be able to release official version 1.0 of Monster Fight and Pocket Monster Fight for the masses. I will keep you updated on how that's coming. And besides that, we've got some fun stuff happening. First of all, the really time-sensitive stuff. For Questco Jr.'s birthday, we are having a celebratory coloring contest over on Instagram and Twitter. Loyal listener Fairy Tale Girl MB at @MBurgundy on Instagram drew a beautiful coloring page featuring Pearl and Sealy, and everyone who submits a picture of their colored-in version will be entered to win a set of rare and exclusive dice from Dice Envy. Those coloring pages need to be submitted by end of day on July 7th to be entered in the drawing. Additionally, we just wrapped up Season 1 of Kanoko Origins this week. If you haven't listened to that spin-off series and are interested in what things were like in the Kanoko region 1,000 years ago, I highly recommend checking it out over on the main Quest Company podcast feed. It's me DMing for Andrew and Joe from Questco, and we are really proud of how this series has turned out. It's the perfect time to binge it now that the whole season is available, and since the framing device of that series is Professor Nichols lecturing at Kanoko University, it only felt fitting to provide you, the listeners, with a real Pokapology 251 final exam covering the events of the series. And any listener who takes the exam and receives a score of 100 or higher will receive a special prize courtesy of the Questco team. And Patreon supporters who score an 80 or higher will also receive the special prize. Those tests must be submitted by 9 a.m. Central Time on Monday, July 5th, in order to be graded. Good luck, and if you need the link to the exam, you can find it on our Twitter and in the Discord. And another reminder, we're recording a new installment of Mordecai's Mailbox, our Patreon Q&A series, which is available for patrons of all levels. We're covering a lot of episodes all the way from number 45, Personal Day, to number 71, A Good Old-Fashioned Interrogation. We've already gotten some great questions, and we're hoping to get even more. If you want to submit questions for that Q&A, you can do so by tweeting at us, posting in the Discord, sending us an email, or sending us a voice recording via email or what have you. We really hope that more of y'all send some of those in so we can put your voice in the episode. How cool is that? It doesn't have to be anything fancy. You can even just record it on your phone, but we would love to hear from you. Sarah specifically has told me many times that she would love to hear from you. We will be recording this Q&A episode this month, so make sure to send us those questions soon so that you can have your questions in the episode. But that is all for me. So for now, I will bid you adieu, my friends, right after. Haha, just kidding. I just remembered. Thank you to GlitchxCity for the songs Bongo, Cats, Mart, and thank you to tabletopaudio.com for providing the ambient sounds. And now I will say thank you for listening and hanging around until the end of this episode. We'll see you next time.